What is up guys, my name is Chase and today I am going to be responding to your guys' YouTube comments regarding my camera setup. Last year I started using this camera, which is the Sony a6400. Since then I've been experimenting with this camera and all kinds of different lenses, and I've posted a bunch of videos about it. I've been going back and forward in the YouTube comments with a user named IRFan who asks, is the Sony 35mm f1.8 significantly good compared to the kit lens 18 to 135mm? Do you recommend it for my a6400? So I don't want to say that I'm like a professional in cameras, but I will say that I think I am at least able to break it all down into really simple terms. So when you're looking for a lens, there are basically two main features that you want to focus on. First off, you have focal length, which is just the millimeter number. For example, again, this is the Sony 35mm, and that number basically tells you how zoomed in or close up the lens is going to be. The higher the millimeter number, the closer it's going to be. Next, you want to take a look at the aperture or the f-stop number. With a lower f-stop number, you can get this really like blurry background. Also, a lower f-stop number gives you great low light performance. And the reason for that is, in very basic terms, the f-stop or the aperture basically measures how much light your lens can take in. The more light it can take in, obviously the better it can do in low light. There's a whole science to it. I'm not a scientist. Anyway, in all seriousness, going back to this lens once again, it has an f-stop 1.8, which is actually pretty darn low. So going back on our little checklist for lenses, 35mm in my opinion is very versatile. I've been able to use this Sony 35mm for all kinds of uses. F-stop 1.8, pretty low, which will get you some nice blurry background and low light performance. Now with all of that being said, what is the best lens for your camera? I don't really want to give you one definitive answer because every lens has its own really good use. In terms of prime lenses, which means that it's a fixed lens, which means that you can't zoom in, I can say based on my personal experiences that this lens that I'm using on the camera right now, the Sigma 16mm 1.4, it's very good. I really like this lens. I basically use this lens for all of my YouTube videos. And of course, as I've been saying, the Sony 35mm 1.8 I think is really great. I don't have this in my notes, but I do want to mention that this Sony 35mm has built-in optical steady shot or optical image stabilization. And what that means is that it helps you keep your video not shaky as much as possible. Although, as I mentioned in a previous video, with optical image stabilization you do give up some features such as a lower aperture. In this case, this one's 1.8, where the Sigma lens is 1.4. Anyway guys, feel free to let me know any more questions, comments, or concerns in the comments. For now, thank you for watching this video. My name is Chase and I will see you again soon. Bye.